Hi, welcome back to my channel. So, today today's topic is called Relaxxx, and I say it's called Relaxxx because it has to do with the mind, and it's a word that I use when I'm trying to stop myself from being carried along with my mind. So we're going to talk about mind, thoughts, and how to not get carried away in what we're thinking and feeling. I'll get into it. Okay, now, so first of all, happy Tuesday. I said I'll be posting on Mondays, but now some things don't go as planned. Um, in terms of the mind, think about the mind as though it's a river, and think of yourself as the awareness of that river. So let's say that you are the awareness standing at a river bank and you're watching water flow by you in front of you, and that's your mind. That's your mind consisting of your thoughts and everything. Okay, now we have certain times when, or it's all the time actually, where we're always thinking, we're always in our heads, and then as we think about different things, most of the time everybody thinks about negative things. So they'll start thinking about their self-limiting beliefs, they'll start saying negative things to themselves, they'll start judging people, they'll start comparing themselves to other people, they'll start projecting, all of that. Now for me, I'm the kind of person that when I find that my mind is starting to run really far, I always shout to myself, relax. So that's kind of like a word that I used to pull myself back, like I mentioned before. But on top of that, it brings me back to awareness, because as humans, we need to be aware of our thoughts, because our thoughts control our feelings. So if we can't get a grip on our mind, then our mind is going to turn out to be our worst enemy. Because if my mind is always telling me negative things about myself and comparing me to other people and putting me down in reference to the people that I see online and everything, then I'm always going to feel negative things about myself, and I don't want that. So what I do is that when a thought comes in that brings about a terrible feeling, I always okay, so for example, I think about how I'm so skinny and I want to gain weight and I look like a skeleton. That's just an example. So if I think about that and that feeling of worthlessness is about to rise, I just shout to myself, relax, relax. And so it's like I always do that. So after shouting relax, I then tell myself I now breathe. So I breathe in deeply and breathe out. If you read about the mind, and if you read about the people being themselves and all of that, you find that breath brings people back to awareness. Everybody needs to be aware of what is going on in their life. So not being privy to, not being what's the right word, distracted by thoughts that are terrible and all of that. No. So breath brings you back to that present moment. So if here I am thinking about how I look like a skeleton, then the feeling of worthlessness is about to rise, and I say relax, and then I breathe in deeply and breathe out. I let go of that. So that's how you keep practicing being present. Wow, there are so many animals. That's how you practice being present. That's how you practice being aware, and that's how you practice being an observer of your thoughts and feelings. You have to understand that you are not your thoughts and feelings. You aren't. You are consciousness, you are the awareness. And when you realize that you are not your thoughts and feelings, it makes you feel better, because then you don't feel like a terrible person if you're judging someone. You don't feel like you're, what do I want to say? You don't feel shit, because you know that, okay, you are actually a beautiful human being. Deep down, you're a beautiful human being, you are thriving, you're successful, all of that. But that is not accessible to you if you allow yourself to be carried away by your thoughts. So think about yourself as somebody standing at a riverbank. You're standing by the riverbank and you're seeing your thoughts flow past. How you know you're being carried away by your thoughts is when you feel like you're swimming in your thoughts. So basically, you've moved from being at the riverbank to being in the river and being carried away by the currents. That's when you are being controlled by your mind, or you're allowing your mind to dictate how things move within you. No. Being aware means being present, one, being conscious of your breathing, two, being able to observe thoughts and feelings that come up. There's so many times, honestly, on a normal day, it took a long time, because honestly, every day there's this negative feeling that I always feel, there's this sad feeling that I always feel. It's there, but there's also a happy feeling. So understanding the polarity of life, where there's good, where there's bad, you understand? But for me, I always wanted that bad to go first before I started celebrating the good. But then you realize that with every good thing that is existing in life, there's a bad thing that is existing equally with it. It's coexistent. So, in order to be able to live, one needs to understand that okay, the bad is here, but I'm focusing on the good. So definitely, every day when I have my sad feelings, my angry feelings, my feelings of worthlessness, I just observe it and I know that I am not those things. And I was saying that to myself today. I am not these feelings. I'm not. I'm just observing them. And once you realize that, you have this feeling of empowerment and self-control that, okay, I'm aware of my life. I'm aware of myself. I'm aware of my thoughts. I'm aware of my feelings. And I'm aware that I'm in control of these things, because a lot of people get lost in their minds, and it's not nice, because obviously it makes them feel terrible. So practicing awareness by breathing is very important. Once again, think of yourself as standing by the river bank. At the river bank, you are awareness. In the river, you are your thoughts and your feelings. So understand that when a negative thought comes into your mind, stand, observe, watch, okay? Then when the feeling arises, just breathe. And like me, you can shout relax. Every time I'm always shouting relax, relax, and then my body's like, and so it starts to like simmer down and go back into balance. So it's really important to interact with yourself, especially when it comes to thinking negative thoughts and feeling negative feelings about yourself and about other people. Breathing is super important because it brings you back into the present moment. And then you ask yourself, what is in the present moment right now? Well, in my present moment, despite in my head there being the feelings of me looking like a skeleton, in the present moment, I am here in nature recording a video that is making me happy. Makes sense. You focus on what is in front of you, not what happened in the past or what you're envisioning in the future. You can do that from time to time if you want, but that shouldn't be the main thing. The main thing is living in the present. A lot of people don't live in the present, they live in the past. They keep recycling memories that happened in the past. They keep recycling those feelings, and it makes them angry, it makes them sad, it makes them worry. Some people are living in the future, they are planning. They're not living in the present moment. It's really important to live in the present moment. So understand that to live in the present moment is to be aware of your breathing. Breathing brings you back into awareness, into consciousness. So understand that, okay? So I want you to practice being aware of your thoughts and being aware of your feelings and observing it. Practice being the observer of your thoughts and feelings, and tell me the difference that you observe in doing that, okay? So like, subscribe, please tell your friends, leave comments, and do these activities and let me know what it's like, because honestly this is something that I really enjoy. Okay, bye.